Hello, everybody, and welcome to Real Talk Tuesday. Everything you want to know about real estate and more. So, last week we spoke with Rotonda Wilson with Homestar Mortgage, the Fayetteville office, and she talked to us a little bit about what types of loans she felt that were good for first-time home buyers. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Tara Robertson with Acopia Home Loans. And she is going to tell us a little bit about Acopia Home Loans and herself. And then we'll move into the pre approval process. And from there, I'll just try and twist her arm and get a few little tips in for you. So take it away, Tara.
Sounds good. Thanks, Val, for having me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, Acopia Home Loans is based out of Tennessee. That's where our headquarters is. And we have 27 branches throughout the Southeast, 6 of which are in the Atlanta area. And we were established back in 2007.
Okay, and so what have you done in the mortgage industry, Tara?
I started in the mortgage business about 25 years ago as a mortgage processor. And then I went into underwriting, and then from there I went into closing and funding. And back in 2013, I obtained my license to originate.
Okay, great. All right. So, what would you talk to people about in terms of the pre-approval process? What information would you like to share?
Well, I think if you can, if you're able to give about 10 minutes of your time, what I would do is I would take some time obtaining your personal information, and then I would put it into our mortgage software program. And our mortgage software program actually is intertwined with an underwriting system called Desktop Underwriter. All the lenders use the same program. One is Fannie Mae based, one is Freddie Mac. So it's either going to be Desktop Underwriter or Loan Prospector. And then we submit that loan in, and it spits out a result of either approve eligible or refer, and it will tell us the documentation requirements for that loan.
Okay. And so then once a person goes through the pre-approval process, I say, you're pre-approved. Now we can start looking for a home. They find a home. Then what other suggestions would you have, for the entire process along the way?
Well, once I have somebody that's been pre-qualified, what I will do is I will give them a list of documents that they need to get together, such as 30 days pay stubs or W-2s or whatever the automated underwriting software has asked for, because not everybody has to submit the same amount of information.
Okay.
Sometimes if you have somebody with a really high credit score and job stability and a large down payment, they don't always have to submit as much documentation as somebody that may be putting less money down and the loan is a little bit riskier.
Okay.
So it depends on the borrower's profile.
Okay.
And then I'll give them that list of information to send in, and then we send the loan into underwriting once we have everything we need. Okay. And the underwriter will come back to us with an approval, and they may or may not have additional conditions that need to be satisfied before the loan goes to closing.
Okay.
And it's very important that they communicate with both the loan officer and the processor as to get all that paperwork together, because after that paperwork is submitted into underwriting for clearance, that loan is then moved to the closing department.
Okay.
So we want to get that clear to close, from the underwriting department, so that we're able to meet the closing deadline on time.
On time.
Mm-hmm.
And so how important is it that people get this information to you quickly?
It's very important because the contract has a closing date deadline, and we want to do everything we can to get that closing department everything they need as soon as possible.
Okay.
So we don't ever jeopardize the closing date.
Okay. Which means you get to close on time and you get to move into your home on time.
Which is what everybody wants, right?
Right. And so then what other tips do you have maybe, for things that they should and shouldn't do prior to closing? I know as an agent, we tell people, don't go buy anything, don't make any big purchases and continue to do what you were doing when you got pre-qualified. But what other tips are...
That's actually very good advice, Val. We do tell borrowers that as well, especially the first-time home buyers, because they tend to get very excited and they want to go out and buy and decorate. Everybody likes to decorate their new home, and they want the best appliances. And while I know it's very important to many people, it's something you want to do once the loan has closed, because your income and your debts are used to qualify you for that mortgage, and there are specific qualifying ratios that fall into play, and you don't ever want to go ahead and obtain more debt that would jeopardize you qualifying for that mortgage, because it would then have to go back into underwriting, and that's something you just don't want.
Okay, all right. So that's right. We want one trip to underwrite.
That's right.
Okay. All right. And then was there anything else that you wanted to share with the people out there today?
There's a new program out there for some first-time home buyers. It's a great new program it's a 97% first mortgage and a 4% second. And it allows the seller can still contribute up to 3% towards closing costs.
Okay.
The credit score is a range of 680 to 720.
Okay.
And they can use that, it's basically a first and a second. So that second percent, that 4% second is interest only. And it's at the same interest rate that the first mortgage is. Okay. And there's no prepayment penalty. So if the borrower chooses to pay that second off at any time, they can go ahead and do that. And then only be paying on the first. And there's no mortgage insurance on this program, which is great for first-time home buyers because the mortgage insurance can be very costly.
Okay, sounds great. Mm-hmm. And so if someone wants to reach you, how would they do so?
Oh, best way to reach me is the one and only way, which is my cell phone. It's area code 404-808-8909. And if I'm not available, you can always leave me a voicemail, or you can also text me at that number, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. And never hesitate to call anytime. My name is Tara Robertson. I'm with Acopia Home Loans, and I'd be happy to help you with your financing needs.
All right. Thank you so much, Tara.
Thank you.
All righty.